to help. And when we got there, he wasn't there. But later on, he came. And he stayed and he helped us load back up. And I believe he was the one with the wagon.
As the two. No, he wasn't the one with the wagon. Y'all have that picture. Are you going to do pictures in this? We would love for you to do, if you, I mean, if it's okay.
Absolutely. No, every chapter will have pictures. Yeah.
So we have pictures. This picture of this young man and there was a case that we wanted to. Some of the places that we went is very, very poverty stricken. Yeah. The people are very hurt, physical, spiritually, mentally. There is a need. There is a need in what we're doing, and I thank God that He chose us to go to do that, to fill that void.
The thing that, to your question, that would make me not want to go back was it appeared, not saying that it were, the activity of the devil surrounding the camp. You know, the drug dealers and
Where was that?
everywhere we went, everywhere we go.
Everywhere, that's right.
They're moving around the camp. You know.
They're watching you.
You know, knowing that you are no doubt taking some of their clients,
Yes.
and that makes you want to draw back a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then on the other hand, knowing that God got it, you have to endure it.
That's right.
There was a guy when we went and took those clothes, New Year's Eve, when we took them to Charlotte, and it was so cold. There was a guy that threatened me.
Yeah, I remember you saying it. Yeah.
He was about 6'6". I mean, he was huge. I didn't back down, and I just told him. So he was trying to. So we gave clothes to everybody. We gave them boots and everything we had, and he started. So he was fine to start with, and then he said, "Give me that." And I said, "No." I said, "Those are kids' shoes." And he says, "Give me that." And I said, "No, we're not going to do that." I said, "We got to have those for our next stop." I said, "We may have somebody that needs them." And he said, and I said, "What are you going to do with them?" I was just joking with him. He said, "I'm going to go sell them." I said, "No, you're not." And so he left. He walked from around the trailer, and he walked to another guy, a smaller guy, who we had given stuff to. Guy was totally grateful, everything. And he started to take his stuff. And I walked over there in between them. I said, "You're not going to do that." I mean, he was huge.
Yeah.
And I just, and he said, "Yes, I am." I said, "No, you're not. You're not going to take his stuff." I said, "That's his stuff." I said, "You got what you got." And I said, "So, time to go." And he was like, "I'll kick your ass." And I said, "That's fine, but you ain't getting his stuff."
Right.
And so one of the guys, anyway, so I did this because he was moving towards the guy, and he's like, "Don't put your hands on me." And I said, "I didn't." I said, "But you're not gonna get his stuff." And my kids were crying.
Yeah.
They were in the background. And so anyway, one of the guys that was with me that helps us, he started to pray. And he was praying out loud. God, remove this person from here. The guy started to walk off.
That's good.
And he left. But I didn't think about me or anything else at the time because that guy was not getting his stuff. I don't care who you are, you ain't getting his stuff. And then afterwards, one of the guys told me, he's like, "Dude, you got to let them work it out." He said, "Because that's the way the stuff is done in the street." I said, but those people were here because of us, and I'm not letting him take his stuff.
That's right.
And I ain't letting him go sell it.
You have to stand. You have to stand.
So anyway, and we had 3 people that were packing that day.
Yeah.
And they were right behind me.
That's good.
And so anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But Jill was trying to give him socks and everything else to shut him up.
You're right.
And I was just like, get away from here. Go,
Yeah.
get on.
I think the other thing too that was really amazing when in Pageland was the young lady.
Let him look at this picture before it go away again.
Okay.
That's the man with the wagon. He got two
that's
loads of
second
wagon.
wagon load.
That was when we were in
That's what
Longburn.
Really?
Yeah.
He had, I don't know which way he went with it, but the one that lived.
I'm gonna need those pictures.
Do you have the one where the man is sitting up under the truck? One of them we were at. It was in Albemarle. I have that one, and it was hot out there.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, and the man went and sit up under the tire at the truck. He was not leaving. You remember that?
All right, so I got about 5 minutes on the video. On the video.
Okay.
Tell me an event that either has caused you or would cause you to stop doing what you're doing.
Well, that's what I just answered.
Yeah.
You kind of would.
I think
What would
for
cause
us
us?
probably nothing. I mean, cause we.
Will stop us from what we're doing. Well, I don't, nothing would, I don't think nothing would stop us.
It's the same to me. I'm gonna find a way.
If I had to give away, even if the provisions from where we or whatever, seeds or whatever, we still would take and go buy, if I had to buy it out of the food line, if I had to buy 3 cans of soup or whatever and put it in the bag, load up and get some hot dogs, get the Bible, whatever, there's no stopping. If the provisions or whatever this right here, God forbid, whatever were to cease, then what's the calling that's on the inside of us cannot cease. So I believe it to be an ongoing.
I think one of the things that Wayne and I just experienced that has kind of upset me with the church is that, all this stuff that we have is free and we have an abundance, John. One day you're going to have to just come and see. Miss Pearl, Mrs. Jane, we actually, the church that we're at twice a month, Wayne said, Deborah, he said, they do what they call the Meals on Wheels, where once a month they take sick and shut-in meals and they feed them once a month, give them hot meals. So the last couple of months that we've been back, we said, okay, we'll add to Meals on Wheels. We'll send a bag of groceries. We packed up the groceries, loaded everything on the truck, got the bags, juices, tissue paper, paper towels, cereal, had it on the truck. Wayne and I go down there, took everything off the truck, bagged it up. The only thing they had to do was take it to the people. And they have decided that they don't want to, that's too much.
See, some of these people, you have to remember, they are in a situation at no fault of their own. Some of these people, Brother John, have not been as fortunate as others. They have to work 2 jobs. That's why their kids are going astray. They're never home. They're tired when they are there. They're so stressed with everything else, they don't have time to deal with life.
I understand.
So some of it is no fault of their own. They're not sorry people.
That's right.
That's right.
They're just put in a situation where they can't help themselves.
Well, the people that we met on the street, about half of them choose to be there. And then the other half are there because
They have no choice.
they have no choice. And we met a family. So the six, maybe even 7 people that we're doing. Obviously, you guys, the Dolls on a Mission, the lady that does the dolls for us. There's a guy down in Lancaster that sold everything except his house. He paints for a living. He's an artist. He has a mobile shower unit, and he goes out every Tuesday. He goes to Charlotte, and the guys can take a shower. They get hygiene kits.
Really?
That's one of the subjects in the book. And he does a phenomenal job. I went out one day with him and we got some video. There was a couple with a baby. So we start out down this way. We're coming this way. We pass them. They don't say anything. We say hey, they don't say anything. So we're supposed to come the way that he normally comes, and all we're doing is videoing and talking. Anyway, he's supposed to come around the back because there's a lot of people back there in the back. He says, let's go this way. We'll stay on the street. So we see him again. And I said, you guys all right? They don't look at me. And then out of the corner of my eye, I see her. She kind of turned her head just a little bit. I said, you guys all right? And she turned around and she said, no. And I said, tell me what you got. I said, because we're here to help you. They've got meals in the backpacks. They've got kits. Yeah. They've got all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And so they turn around and they come back and we start to talk to them. And they have a 3-month-old baby. Wow. And they're living up under a bridge. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to show you a picture real quick. Let's see if I can find it real quick. This baby could be a model. Wow. I mean, that baby is absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Okay? That's the baby.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Okay? So we start to talk to him, and she had a high-risk pregnancy, and she couldn't help her, and they lost their house. Okay, so these are the parents. This is what ended up happening. Wow. We went and we bought them formula. Baby didn't have any formula. Had a little bit, not much. Bought them formula. We bought them more. We bought them a case of water to mix the formula. Bought them a new stroller because they didn't have any way to carry this stuff. So we bought them a new stroller just for the stuff. And we bought them diapers and wipes. Because he told us to come back this way instead of going back. We would have missed it. That's right. And so we trusted him, and they're like, let's go back this way. And so we found that family, and so the guy from South Carolina, from Lancaster, has now moved them into a tent that he provided. Wow. With a guy who's providing security for him, looks after him 24/7. Another guy that was an ex-Marine, and he chooses to be out there, but he set them up in a tent with a heater and their own place instead of being under a bridge. So there's some incredible stuff going on. It's just amazing. So when obviously you guys will see all this stuff before it ever goes anywhere. But when this guy, who is fearless, he's 5'0", he's fearless. He comes up on these other 2 black people with a guy that's about 6'7", got an earpiece in his ear, and obviously we know he's a drug dealer. He comes up on him, and he says, "Are you guys okay?" And the girl's crying, and the guy turns around, the big guy, and he says, "Go away." And he says, "Are you guys okay?" He doesn't flinch. "Are you guys okay?" And the girl's crying. And so the guy turns his attention back to the girl, and he says, "Do it, do it." And he's yelling at her. And she grabs this needle, and right here, and it's heroin. And he said, excuse my language, he said, "Bitch, you're mine now." So he's giving her drugs, so she now has to do whatever he tells her. And so when you walk up on things like that, and the guy does the same thing, they're obviously boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, they're together. But when you walk up on that stuff, he's now been able to help those 2 people. And there was a guy that saw this, and he came up and he said, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Because God told me to be." And he said, and this part of the book, I actually wrote this part, and the other guy kind of fixed it. Always good. But he said, and he said, "Because God told me to." He said, "I don't believe in that." He said, "What do you believe?" He said, "I'm Muslim." He said, "I don't care." He said, "I love you anyway." And he said, "So does God." And so the guy's now coming back every week. They know he's coming on Tuesday at 10 o'clock, and he comes back. He's with the crib. Wow. And he comes back every week, and he comes to see him. And so when you when you wonder why,
Yeah,
that's why.
that's why.
And so there's some incredible stories of
It is.
that he has, like from the streets. We don't see that. We see a more controlled environment, but he sees it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so that's why I'm doing what we're doing, because and I'll show you this real quick. But
While you're looking that up, John, I think my most scariest time was when Wayne and I was giving out flyers, and we ran up on. We stopped on the side of the road, the house right there where we do the event at Impatient.
Yeah.
There was this one guy and his girlfriend was standing there, so we pulled over to give them a flyer, and Wayne got out and handed her the flyer, but her boyfriend walked over there. And he was like, well, what's up with this? What's up there? And Wayne was saying, well, he go on flyer, we coming over here to do an outreach. And he was like, he was kind of just a little tall and everything, but he was the one that just a month or so ago, he's cut from here across his neck. That's him. His name is Michael. We'll never forget him. And he told Wayne, he said, you see this? That man right over there, that nigga right over there, tried to kill me. He tried to kill me, pull his shirt up. And so I'm calling Wayne on the cell phone like, come and get in this car right now. But Wayne's standing there flat-footed. Wayne stood there and crossed his arms.
yeah.
And listened to every word that the man had to say. And, the man was like, you could tell he was kind of like on something, because he was like real close up in Wayne's face. He was expressing himself, but at the same time, he let it known at first, well, you don't be giving my woman nothing. That was what that was about.
Because he controlled her.
Right. And now he even told her one time, well, you need to hush. You need to let me tell the story. And so I finally rolled the window down, turned the car on and rolled the window down, because I wanted him to see where, his wife is in the car. Now, don't let me have to run over you.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, where was this patient?
Yeah,
Was it really?
He ended up crying.
And we ended up praying with him.
Want to be saved.
Yeah, we ended up praying.
He was scared that the man down the street down there
Was coming back to get him.
and he was.
That's the cover of it. Yeah, so that you don't know my story.
That's gonna be neat.
So the girl that did the graphics is in 11th grade. She's gonna be on TV one day. So anyway,
That's
That's nice, man.
So
I hope this right here will help you a lot.
well, it is because God's already told me that this thing's gonna be a success. I mean, it may not sell but 10 copies,
But still,
but I'm doing what He told.